Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to another episode of Reasonable Wrestling. Better late than never. On this episode, we're going to be talking about how this road to WrestleMania is a little bumpy.
The slap heard around the world,
The second slap.
Just yesterday, he did a show that WrestleMania is slapping, but now it's bumping.
No, I said wrestling is slapping.
Okay.
Wrestling is slapping.
All right.
We
Wrestling is slapping for sure.
Wrestling is slapping for sure. We also going to talk about, the excitement around AEW and the new things that they got around there. And not International Women's Month, we have women's conversation. You know what I'm saying? So please don't, all that and more now.
It's simple.
Yo, 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 yo. It's the Joint Reliatola here, and I'm with my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang. What's going on with you, brother?
What's good, guys? This is the Underground and Professional Wrestling Podcast. We're here to bring to you the week that was in professional wrestling. Now, if you don't know, now you know us. Please follow us, like us, subscribe, do all that good shit, and follow us on all our media, the socialness. It's RW Podcast 1 on Twitter. Find us there. It is Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. Basically anywhere else, if you're listening to us on SoundCloud and iTunes, thank you for listening. Definitely favorite us and all that stuff. And definitely check out us on YouTube if you're watching there. If you're on YouTube, check us out on the other platforms. It's our Reasonable Wrestling Podcast, basically on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, basically. So we're here to talk about the slap. Let's get right into that real quick. And then we'll tackle everything else from there. Chris was just telling me how he thinks the road to WrestleMania is bumpy. I think the road to WrestleMania is exactly where it should be right now. It's exactly zooming. Ain't no bumps in the road. We zooming right now. We cruising. We in cruise control, baby.
If you're from Buffalo, this road to WrestleMania is Wohlers Avenue. Okay, this is Main and Bailey. You know what I'm saying? This shit is bumpy. You feel me?
So like break it down. Why do you think it's bumpy specifically? Like, can you explain why?
I would say this. My take on this is strictly my observation. When we did the podcast after Royal Rumble, it was kind of, we were excited about what the possibilities of WrestleMania could be. CM Punk had returned. Cody Rhodes was trying to do a story. The Rock was somehow he was just supposed to add a boost, right? He was just supposed to bring a rating spike. He was just supposed to be like bad press, new TKO owner, business part. Like, he was just supposed to be just to get the bad shit away from the company, as a company head. He was just supposed to be there, and I was accepting that. I'm like, that's Rocky. I know what that is. The biggest guy in the world, right? And as a wrestling fan, I'm okay with that. He's in the fucking way, man. He's in a way.
What?
He's in the way. And I made the case in the group chat that we had an argument on. We brought it to the pod, and we had a conversation. All I wanted Rocky to do was give Cody a bump, a rub, so to speak. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's doing that. Like, what's the difference between what you wanted and what's happening? Like, what is,
because this, okay, so it's more than just this. And I want to see, WrestleMania is just more than just Roman, Cody, Rock, and Seth.
Yeah.
There has been no infrastructure on the tag division for me, as far as like what it is that I am wanting to see in the next 35 days. Bailey is also a Royal Rumble winner as well, and I feel like that her build her road to WrestleMania, her biggest match of her career, is not reaping the benefits of the work that she put in for her to be in the spot.
I'm loving it. Me personally, I'm watching every show, and I came here last episode, and I was like, the reason why Rock won't be here every single episode because you can't have. We need to make other things more important too. And to me, I think they're finding a balance within it all. I'm excited for Bailey and EO, and I think the whole Dakota turn 2 weeks ago, followed by now we're setting up Dakota versus Bailey this week. She had her her promo this week and everything. I like what they did, so I'm not looking for anything more than what they've given me thus far.
And I'm not trying to downplay the telegraph things that were because listen, we're wrestling fans. Everything doesn't have to be so sophisticated. It don't have to be enamored, glam. Like, hey, give me something that's tangible, that's real, that I can feel, that makes sense.
Should I shed a tear? I mean, off of the promo she did, I was like, oh shit, Bailey, man. Listen, what Bailey has done, I genuinely think has been so like, I was watching Sasha on an interview, or excuse me, Mercedes on an interview, and I agree with everything she was saying about Bailey because she's been so selfless all these years. And the reason why like said, this whole moment with her Damage Control, she basically created herself. Dakota wasn't with the company. EO wasn't NXT. She's coming off an injury when she was like one of the MVPs during the pandemic. And then she shows up.
That's my point. I'm so sorry. That's my point.
Let me land. Because she shows up at SummerSlam 2020, sorry. And 2021, excuse me, 2021. And I think from that point they build to this point with her and EO. And I genuinely, with Kyrie coming back and everything they teased along the way, I don't think they need any more than what they've been given. I think that right now that's one of the most emotionally and perfect matches we've built for WrestleMania. I mean, if it was something else you said as at a point that WrestleMania has been bumpy, I can maybe see, all right, yeah, we don't know what's going on with Bianca Belair. We don't know what's going on with the tag team.
I'm not making that my point is why it's bumpy. I'm making it my case of why I feel like it's not getting its just due. Everything that you said, and I'm glad I let you land, you proved my point. This is Bailey's fucking WrestleMania main event fucking moment. All the niggas, all the stand-up pissers been on the mic talking about how much this is important to them. Everybody talk about why they came back, why they took the money, why they bumping niggas out the spot. Everybody's jockeying for that position on the men's side. Yet on the women's side, Bailey, who you just said held the fucking women's division, the company up during the pandemic, brought 2 girls back, built the fucking powerhouse women's faction that hasn't been fucking seen in how many years, and now she's not relegated to main event. That's a main event story.
So let me think.
Bailey is
saying that Bailey
division should be main event.
So you think that Bailey should be main eventing night 1 WrestleMania?
Yes.
Bailey and EO.
Yes.
That's your argument.
Yes.
I disagree because although it's a great story, I don't think that Bailey is not getting her just due. I think her building this angle up until now, she's been on TV every single week building this story with EO and Damage Control. The turn happened with the Dakota. The promo happened this week. We're gonna get Dakota and Bailey next week. When you have, like you said, The Rock coming back, and then we have this whole thing about we want Cody and everything. Yeah, it's hard to get Bailey and EO as hot as that, so we can main event night 1.
No,
in my opinion,
that's not true. I was in the building. I was in the building when she won. I'm sorry. When she won the Rumble, in that building, online, everybody was like, "This is Bailey's moment. This is Bailey's moment." You know what I'm saying?
I don't know who you're talking about. Juan. Are you talking about me or Chris? Because I think
probably me.
Bailey's fine right now.
Probably me. But my biggest argument isn't that she's not getting her just due. My biggest argument is the fact that the road to WrestleMania has now been convoluted to the fact that it's just this match. It's just this feud. It's just Roman. Seth said it in the promo on Friday. It's the biggest match to determine the industry of our. No, the fuck it's not. And I don't need you to. I understand that. Just like it wasn't just like the hyperbole of the greatest wrestling match ever. Like
Yeah.
I understand that.
It's just
But
promotion. Yeah.
but what I am saying though is that the attention, as you say, Rock isn't going to be on TV. He's been on TV every week. He hasn't been on. He hasn't been on Raw.
He missed. He's been on SmackDown the past 2 weeks, and he missed one of the shows before that.
Okay.
And I know he kind of takes some of the air out the room when it comes to storytelling, because his shit is going to be a 30-minute segment, almost guaranteed, right? So that's 30 minutes, boom, right off your show. I think that if you're saying, hey, we don't know what Bianca's doing, hey, we don't know what the tag team title is going to be happening at WrestleMania.
I started off with the tag team, yes.
Yeah, then I get what you're saying. We still got to figure that out, you know. But as far as Bayley goes, I'm really happy with the way they build that. And even if Bayley gets a big reaction to Royal Rumble, I still don't think that's a bigger match than Becky and Rhea, in my opinion, just based off of the year Rhea has happened, as far as her overness. If there was going to be a women's main event, however, neither one of those is bigger than The Rock and Cody. Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth,
which is what we've been talking about since Rock returned. Right.
Here's what I want to say.
Go ahead.
What if we start out WrestleMania Night 1 with Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth? We just start out the show.
I'll take that shit. I'll take that shit.
All right, because that's a potentiality. It's something about starting off the show. We know what's going on with we know what's going to go on, with Seth and Drew later on tonight. Maybe we already know what's going to go on the next night with Cody, if he's going to have bloodline rules or not. But let's be honest, it's creating so much buzz. You can't not build this to be a big match. And I think that right now, with all the think pieces going on, with The Rock turning on Roman, or with Seth turning on Cody, I just think we're in the perfect spot right now. And it's all, even though it's a lot of attention on this angle, I think that it's paying off because people are talking, bro, and people are so intrigued. In my mind, I don't know which way it's gonna go. Like I can see either match going either way, which is perfect for them, because I'm not sitting here saying I know what's gonna happen. It's not predictable. That tag match could go either way. Roman and Cody can go either way, and that's how I want my WrestleMania.
I can I'll accept the pushback, and I hear you, Juan, when you say I'm not making any sense. I would say, for me, I didn't mean to get bogged down in the Bayley conversation, but that was my point. My point was that when Rocky comes back and he's dominating, listen, man, Cody can carry the feud of him and Roman by himself on both shows. So even if Roman don't want to come every week, I'm expecting that. I've been accustomed to not having Roman every week. I do go to Fridays for the other builds. I do go to Fridays for that TV segment of Bayley's conversation. That's dope. I'm not disregarding or disrespecting that or saying that that's not giving her just doing any type of way. Bianca's situation, correct. I am very much attuned to what it is that Bianca is going to do. It's the first time I haven't seen her in WrestleMania since she's been on the main roster. Out that pandemic Royal Rumble, which was 37 or 36. We've been accustomed to seeing her. So she's not there, correct?
Yeah.
The tag, I said, I don't like the build for that. I'm not intrigued at all in Logan Paul and Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. That is, we talked about it. If LA Knight is somehow going to be a champion out of that will be a big pop of LA Knight, Logan Paul.
Yeah, I don't think
that's not going to happen, right? So now we're relegated to LA Knight, AJ Styles at WrestleMania, right? It's just not giving 40, right? It's not giving. Okay. It's not giving 40.
To me, the Rock tag team match, the Seth Rollins and Drew, the Roman Reigns and Cody match on night 2, and then you give me Rhea and Becky Lynch, and you give me Bayley and Io. These are some of my favorite women in wrestling right now.
Correct.
I feel like it's 40, and then I think I'm waiting for Gunther's, opponent.
That's 40 if it's one night. I'm sorry. If we talking about 10, 20, 30, and we got those 5 matches on one night, that's a 40 match. We talking about 2 nights.
I mean, hey,
we got 5
let's be honest. We still got 3 weeks, so let's give it some time. I mean, 4. We have 4.
If we get Gunther and Chad Gable, I'm with it. If we get Gunther, Chad Gable at Mania, that's 40. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 40. Sammy, but I hope it is Gable, to be honest with you. But I hear where you're coming from, and you're entitled to your opinion. If it's not, if you think it's a little bit bumpy, I respect your take on it. I think we're right where we're supposed to be. I think we're cruising. But Juan Jackson says, I get what you're saying. LNA was supposed to be be at least in the title match, but timing is everything. You know what? Timing is everything. But I thought LA Knight's timing. I thought his time was last WrestleMania. To be honest with you, in LA, but and I thought that if not in LA, by now he would have won a U.S. championship or Intercontinental championship, and we haven't seen it yet. So him and AJ should it be a good match? I think so, but I'll be honest. I think that WrestleMania would have been bigger with him winning a United States championship or a mid-card championship. But hey, it's not what we're gonna get. We gotta be satisfied with what they're giving with AJ, because AJ is no slouch and he can put on a good match for anybody.
AJ's not no slouch. But
sometimes WrestleMania surprises me with those matches, and I'm like, okay, it was way better than I thought.
Well, I will say this, and now we can move forward with the rest of, because we tackled the slap not really, we didn't tackle the slap. Cody got slapped at the press conference. Rocky called Cody a mistake. After Rocky called him a mistake, you saw the little ticker at the end. You saw Rocky give the little. He probably he's like, give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Give it to me off the air. He slapped him. Nothing happened. Right? Rock kind of got the smile, like, yeah, boy. Yeah, boy, that's what that's the energy.
Yeah.
I'm
go ahead.
I'm not gonna hold you. That is good energy.
And it's a good what you call it, a good cliffhanger. When you talk about television, it's a good cliffhanger. I really did want to see like a fallout from that though. And one thing I left with that is like, I want to see Cody be a little more aggressive. I want him to be a little
he was Monday he was Monday before Friday, which was last Monday. He told Paul Heyman, he was like, yo, I'm hunting the bloodline. Like, y'all ain't gotta come
2 Mondays ago though. And since then he hasn't done a goddamn thing.
No, they fought. They did, because they had a little bro, wrestling is running together, life is running. Didn't he just fight solo? It was because Seth came out, he was just cleared, and he got Claymore in the ring by Drew. It was a match.
It was a whole thing with Jey Uso versus.
Yeah. So
and I think that Solo came out, distracted him, but then Cody came out for the save, and then Jimmy, made sure he lost the match. No, it was Drew versus Jey. Excuse me. Jimmy came out to interfere. He lost the match, and then Seth runs down past Drew to confront Jey Uso, and then he gets back on the ring and Claymore.
Now, I will say this about the thread of the Bloodline storyline. It seeped through every fucking inch of the top half of the men's division, right? How Drew is enamored by the Bloodline. How,
as it should, the past 3-4 years, it's been like a huge overarching. It's like I call it the Bloodline era. These past 4 years feel like it has been the era that has
it
defines what's going on in wrestling right now.
It's NWO-esque, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where
absolutely
it had his lowling moment, and you're like, really? Big Curtis Hughes is in NWO. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we ever got that low, but I hear you.
what is Horace Hogan doing winning this match? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. But there've been like some ups, there've been ups and downs on it. But I think what the Bloodline era has been was great promos, great segments, great angles that
Great
have
moments.
great storytelling moments,
Yes.
that led to great matches. And even with the whole Bloodline Civil War, it wasn't as intriguing as the whole Sammy stuff earlier. Maybe not, but I thought it was still great television and how
Well,
they built that.
that's I think that trickles in. I'm so sorry. That trickles into why I'm saying it don't feel right to me. Jay and Jimmy, from the civil from that moment, it should have been an intentional build to this match. I'm
Yeah,
talking
I feel
about
you.
everything that them two, bro. You can't tell me y'all brothers, y'all twins, y'all did everything in life together. This nigga done scratched you out of 3 championship opportunities, blood, and you about to tell me you just about to go to Raw and get a new fresh start because you don't fight family? You done fought this nigga your whole life. Put that shit on camera, cuz. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Owen Brett at 10 from Survivor Series on, when he turned on that nigga, that shit was intentional by Owen. Tell him he was the best heart. He's the best there is to eat. Like, that was intentional, bro. That's why it's remembering. That when you want to talk about the Civil War era, that should have been the start, which it was. That changed Drew McIntyre, right? Drew McIntyre was, he was all, Union Jack. Let's call him Union Jack because he ain't Captain America. He over there on that side. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, like homie changed, right? And I like the character development in that. Jay changed. I like the character development in that. But what it is bothersome to me is that it, like you say, it sucks the air. Drew and Seth they've already told their story. The fact that they have to dig into the bloodlines to make their shit a little bit more spicy, I feel like that's a spice that's not necessary. You feel me?
I hear what you're saying. Man. I don't mind it though, because right now the bloodline is the hottest thing in wrestling. I think it's actually smart because Seth is kind of like being distracted from his own championship, and I like that they're not afraid to address it. I like that they're not like ignoring that this is going on. I think Drew addressing it is great. I think that Seth addressing it is great. I think Rock addressing, saying, "Hey, Seth, I will take your championship away," and you saw a look on Seth's face. He ain't want that. He ain't like that. He'll make sure that that championship goes away. So like, I like the little teases we're getting, and it is about the industry at large right now. They're making it feel like it on both shows, because it is seeping into the World Heavyweight Championship picture. So I'm enjoying it, man. I think this adds more to like the Cody story and the Seth story and Drew story, because I think Drew, with his history with the bloodline, he's like, let's just forget about them completely. But he's like, listen, at some point they're gonna come for this championship. That's Seth's argument. At some point they're gonna come for this championship too. We gotta take them out now. Some things are bigger than us. And Drew's like, fuck that. I'm out for myself. And he said that for a long time now. I'm not here fighting any more battles other than these battles. I'm fighting for myself, which I fuck with Drew right now. Drew's on his solo dolo. I'm self me first, type shit. And I love that.
Heater right now. I can't even hold.
Drew's killing it, man. And this turn he's made has been very subtle, and I think that's perfect. I think he's finally found the perfect role for himself. And I'm honestly hoping he wins at WrestleMania, because I think it's time for him. And if it perfectly aligns with him being champion, if he can hold it until when CM Punk returns, and you hear that, white noise. And he's in the championship. He's in the ring with the championship. People are gonna pop, So I'm hoping that's what we're setting ourselves up for. And I don't mind the intertwining of the bloodline into things, because it is a big deal, kind of a big deal. So we'll see this tonight on Raw, what's going to happen with the Intercontinental Championship, which we are interested in seeing who faces Gunther. But I'll be honest with you, I don't see Gunther losing the championship. Just like I'm not sure if Roman's going to lose a championship. These guys have been so dominant that I don't know if it's just going to be just because we're at WrestleMania, it's time to let them drop the title. No, I don't know for sure that it's just their time, but I'm down for a Sammy Gunther, match or a Chad Gable Gunther match. I'm 100% down for that. We'll see what happens tonight on the gauntlet match. I think it should be a really entertaining gauntlet match. But I'm rooting for Chad too, man. I am.
Yeah, I know you mentioned Sammy. I honestly, Sammy's World Heavyweight Championship, right? We already discussed it. Drew winning that title has a slew of challengers. We talking about Sammy. We talking about CM Punk. We talking about Seth chasing again, right? Like that's. I don't want Sammy in that Intercontinental. He been in
either.
He been in like 4 times already. You feel me? Like.
Yeah, but I think that's where they're going because they've been building him up like this. He's like, I'm trying to find my WrestleMania moment, trying to find my way into WrestleMania. Now, if this is somehow going to turn into another letdown for him, like, oh man, I missed out on my last opportunity, and then finally he gets.
Bro, that's his best character arc, my nigga. Like, they like what worked. Fast and Furious 11, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Sammy got the
downtrodden like, Sammy, and underdog Sammy is the best Sammy for real. But so I'm rooting for Chad Gable though because I think he has a built-in story with Gunther.
Bro, Chad at Mania, winning the joint, being a new Intercontinental champion. I think that's the best. I think that's the best thing. I think that's the absolute best thing. What we got here from the comments? 40th anniversary of Hulk Hogan winning the WWE title. 40 years of WrestleMania. Roman has a chance to break Hogan's record. Damn, come on, man! Don't put that in the air. Don't put that in the air, cuz if we get Bloodline rules and we get my nigga Jacob Fatu, you feel me? It might get ugly.
This is the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania. I don't think he won the title at the WrestleMania. I think he was already champion, right? Because it was a tag match.
At one, he was champion already?
Yeah. Hogan was already, it was Hogan Mania at that point, but I think it was a tag match between him and Mr. T versus Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper. And it was more like, because WrestleMania has always been the celebrity show. So when they bring celebrities for WrestleMania, this is literally what it's been, its whole inception. Right. They didn't have a title match.
From the beginning of time, my nigga.
Yeah. I don't think they had a title match on WrestleMania 1, but I hear what he's trying to say. Like, this 40 years of, WrestleMania era, and then Roman has a chance to break Hogan's record, but that breaking the record is going to be in September, so he would have to win, at this WrestleMania for this to go on, and it's really the Universal Championship that will be breaking the longest run of somebody holding a heavyweight championship. Oh, actually, in the WrestleMania era, because Bob Backlund's record is not Bob Backlund. Bruno Sammartino's record is not being broken. I don't see Roman holding it for the next 2 years. I'm sorry, but he can definitely hold this until past September, potentially. But with that being said, The Rock also said to Cody on SmackDown, if you don't win this, you will never get another chance. I'll make sure that you never get another chance at the championship. So there's that also. That's with that, caveat, we got to, take that into consideration, because if he said that, that means that Cody's relegated to being only World Heavyweight Champion, which is going for the title that his father did not get. So they can obviously rewrite the storyline and do something, but, because even in AEW, Cody said he'll never win every AEW championship, and he didn't. Like, he just never fought for it. But I thought at some point they could, change that up in storytelling. And in WWE, I think they're more likely to be like, all right, if you win this match, then we'll remove that stipulation or something. But for as long as Roman is champion, he can't face him again. If that's what it is, then this might be Cody's last chance. And if that's the case, then it's going to be a really big. There's going to be people mad, because at that point, because we're waiting for the storyline to finish the story for Cody, and if that story does not end at WrestleMania and he can't face Roman again, then who will beat Roman? And it's almost like you guys messed it up. For our happy ending, the picture book ending of the Roman reign coming to an end.
Does that happen if Rock comes back?
If Rock doesn't come back, you mean? Does it happen?
Right.
If
Correct.
Rock does not come back to WrestleMania, to WWE, and it's just Cody versus Roman, and they're built into this match, this rematch. To be quite honest, I don't know. I still don't know, because I think that they have their own sights for what they want to do with Roman Reigns,
that was
and
my
that might
that was my,
usurp what they want to do with Cody.
no, I think that's I think that was my point to my beginning statement of the road is bumpy. I never thought before Royal Rumble, you threw that out there to me. You were saying, why would Rock come back if he's not come back from Mania? And I'm like, bro, don't do that, because I don't want to see that shit. I don't want that involved in my story if I'm riding this Cody wave. I've been very consistent in me not wanting him involved, because I didn't want the confusion or the convolution or anything involved with just the pure storytelling of Cody lost the first time, he's going to get it the second time, because that's how the fucking story is being told, right? That is what I wanted. I wanted to be a little kid. Brown bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. That's what I want to read.
You want basic, clean storytelling.
Red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. That's what the fuck a nigga.
He loses the first year, wins Royal Rumble back to back, comes back, and finally slays the dragon and becomes World Heavyweight Champion.
He has the little bump with CM Punk. He has the little bump with the little thing with CM Punk. They have their little thing in the Rumble match. That goes away. Drew has to find another way. He goes on just a monster heel tear. So now he's just very much devoted to kill Seth and CM Punk, whoever. That's the vision. And here we go. I fall into what I talk about as a wrestling fan. I can't let my expectation of what I wanted to then supersede and usurp how I view it. I'm looking at it, and I'm not saying that I'm still not engaged. He slapped the shit out. I'm like, yeah, slap that nigga. He slapped you. You should have slapped that nigga when he slapped you the first time. Like, we didn't have to wait 2 weeks for this slap. You should have slapped that nigga in the parking lot. I would have got the private. Hey, Trips, can I get the private jet? I gotta fly to wherever it is, the Rock's Ranch or wherever the fuck it is, and slap this nigga. Bring the cameras. Do you wait all this time to do it?
Yeah, man. I want Cody to be a little bit more aggressive, man, and that's one thing I want to see.
Yes,
he's like too good. Like, he's too much Captain America. Like too diplomatic, I would say. But
you're gonna hate that nigga when he become Homelander. I can tell you that.
I'm not sure we're gonna see that. I think they're gonna keep Cody as his babyface, like Cena did with Cena. I do. I would love to see a heel Cody down the line one day. Don't get me wrong, because I think he can. I think Cody is a guy who he can do anything. Like, he really is a great heel. He's a great babyface, but he's so liked, so loved, beloved right now that I think this opportunity, using Rock's cachet to raise the importance of this match and raise the tension on this match, I think this is a perfect time for Cody to beat Roman. Regardless of it being bloodline rules or not. Like, honestly, to be honest with you, if I'm booking it, Cody wins. I think, but I'm not going to be mad if he don't. Like, I'm just going to sit back and watch the chaos, because I enjoy watching the Twitter crazy chaos and just seeing, like, wow, where are they going to go with this? Because I'm just happy we're not getting Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, because I know going into that match, the fans in New York and Philly or Chicago are going to hijack those moments. They're going to be booing both of these guys, So if it was just that, so they found a really creative way to make The Rock still an important piece to WrestleMania and make it have stakes, have a reasoning that way that he's involved, not just, we're just throwing him in there. No, he's there to protect his family and to make sure that Roman leaves champion. Granted, people are saying The Rock will turn. I don't want to see a Rock turn. I don't want to see it then. If anything,
you don't want to see the Mike Tyson effect.
Mike Tyson thing didn't work. It didn't work for me back then. I was like, this makes no fucking sense. When I was a kid, this made no sense to me, But I guess he had a deal with Stone Cold, took the shirt off. I was like, okay, but where did that come from?
Exactly.
I don't want to see
a legitimate degenerate. You feel me?
Like, I know, right? And so, I mean, in the long run, I get what they're trying to do there, and it worked. But I don't want that with Rock. The Rock and Roman are so close family that him just turning on him for no reason, I think is lame. I think it's weak, especially after the long-term storytelling you guys been doing for the past couple of years. Keep it up. Him and Roman should have a match eventually, but it should be a bona fide reason for our turn. It shouldn't just be, I want Cody to win now. I'm doing it for Dusty or some shit like that. I don't know why The Rock would give it the turn on Roman right now. I really don't. He acknowledged him as a tribal chief, and here we are. He said he's doing it for his family. He slapped Cody, did all that shit for what? So in my mind, is it to sway Roman, because he's a good guy? And really, at the end of the day, no, fuck that. He stands on business. He says, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing everything in my power to make sure Cody doesn't win. And when Cody does win or doesn't win the tag match, that can then cause some friction with the bloodline. And long down the line, I think what should happen is Roman's insecurities gets to him, that The Rock is around.
Nigga, that's Roman's. That should be happening anyway. Roman
should turn on The Rock. I think Roman should turn on The Rock.
Roman should turn on The Rock.
Roman, Solo, and Jimmy should jump him,
exactly.
WrestleMania on Raw, the Raw the next night if he loses championship. That's what I think.
And that's how you now get the bloodline tribal chief versus the high chief. That's how you get that with no title involved.
And Roman's going to be a big monster heel throughout that, because that's what I want.
And Rock's going to be one of the biggest over his baby face, because we want to cheer that nigga. We want to cheer Rudy Poos. We want to cheer Candy Ass. We want to cheer
crackheads and meth heads. We want to
cheer. Brother, come on with it with all the
I think that Roman should keep on the heel shit. His insecurities get to
Roman can't call Rock across, Justin.
He's you called yourself the high chief, and I'm now the high chief, taking him out of the equation. I'm the tribal chief and the high chief now, type shit. So that's what I would do coming to WrestleMania, but we shall see what goes down. I'm just here for the ride, and I'm enjoying everything thus far. Going into WrestleMania, we also have some bumpiness maybe with the woman when it comes to Rhea and Becky, because Nia Jax is right there, man. Nia Jax has been on a tear since she's returned, and she ends up facing Becky Lynch in a match on Raw last week, and it gets interfered by Liv Morgan because Becky interfered her match previous week. And the match was good. Nia has been killing it. So with Nia and Liv's, tension with Rhea and Becky in particular, it's not, the focus is not on just Rhea and Becky at the moment. So I'm just wondering how they get to that, because if that's the one-on-one match we're trying to see, this Raw should get us there somehow, or next week, somewhere. So I'm trying to just look out for that and on the road and see where that goes. But other than that, I'm extremely excited. What is Bianca doing? I want to know. And what are we doing with the tag team division?
The women. Another thing with the women, you know what I'm saying? For Becky and Rhea to be the direction that they're going, it feels like more is added to it. Like more is coming. You feel me? Pause. It feels like that there will be I don't know, man. Because Rhea and Becky deserves a one-on-one match.
I agree.
They deserve a one-on-one match, but Nia really is the most dominant woman on that roster right now.
1 second, I'll be right back.
Okay. I think for me, let me take the little cross drain off. I think for me, when I look at Nia's return, it's been nothing short of spectacular as far as, and this goes back, this is going to go into a further conversation that we will have about women and when he returns. The vitriol, disrespect and elaborate, of going out your way to tell somebody that they suck or that they're not good or that what they're doing is it's uncalled for, it's unnecessary. Could Nia have been better at her job earlier on? Absolutely. Okay? Like absolutely. Was Nia perceived to have a reputation of being too, but again, they too physical. Like we hear Jim Ross say all the time, this ain't ballet, folks. So to your point, your biggest thing is that you protect your people. You protect who you're in the ring with. You protect the people that you. So could Nia have been more responsible? I will give you that. Did she deserve everything that she deserved online? No, no, she didn't. No, she did not. And when she got hurt, they say that's what she deserved. When she got fired, they say that's what she deserved. Fuck that. We here to say what you're doing right now is what you deserve. You're being put at the top of the card is what you deserve. You being main eventing in fucking Australia next to the hottest women's wrestler of this time right now, during this time right now, is what you deserve.
Absolutely.
You coming back being healthy, happy, and fucking and performing better and doing better is what you deserve, man. So now you're coming back as being fucking amazing right now, man.
Right now, I would say in the shows that I'm watching, Nia is the number one heel woman in the industry.
Yeah.
I think that there's nobody that can touch her right now. So I'm really, really excited to see where things go for her WrestleMania, because when we get to WrestleMania and we get so close to it and you see so many people get like that, have so much buzz, and you're like, damn, where are they gonna be at? And they don't got a match set already. It's tough, because we genuinely want to see where they're gonna be. And like last year, LA Knight, like I said, he wasn't even on the show. That really bothered me. But I will say this: you make a big oh yes, we are also stands in Nia Jax, buddy.
Big fine.
But when it comes to the woman in general, like they do get a lot of just a lot of backlash for like just no fucking reason, bro. Like, and we want to talk about this on a larger scale, because this past week we had WWE 2K24 come out, and on the cover is Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, and it's just another type of. I just think that wrestling fan base is just toxic sometimes, and we have Bianca getting a ton of racist comments from her being on the cover and being, on the. It's just insane to me that people can't recognize, greatness when they see it. Like, to me, I've been saying this since she was in NXT. This woman is one of the best in the industry. This woman is one of the best wrestlers, performers, superstars in the industry, period. And people are saying all types of racist comments, saying that she's just on the cover because of, pandering to black people, or she's not as over as Cody and Rhea, which is ridiculous because she's pretty much been the top woman for the past 3 years, and now Rhea's now, getting her shine after last year WrestleMania. So they built her up to this point, rightfully so. Rhea and this is the Rhea and Bianca kind of like they took the baton from the Four Horsewomen. It's their era. Now, the Four Horsewomen maybe should have had a cover too back in the day, but this is Rhea and Bianca's era as far as them being the veterans who are holding down the main. I mean, I'm not trying to exclude any of the girls from the past, but they're having their moment right now. They're in their prime of their careers. So to me, the cover obviously is rightfully so. They're there. But in contrast to that conversation with Bianca getting all those, and I think Bianca's tough enough to take it, but at the same time, I just gotta speak on because she's so good at what she does, that I think she understands what the business is, that she's gone through this before, freaking even Sam Roberts back in the day was saying that she shouldn't be champion, which was insane to me. I think he backpedaled on that. I think Bianca has gone through so much that she understands what's going on here, and she's gonna, it's like water off of us back. But we also had a moment earlier on in the week where Maxine Dupree, a rookie in wrestling, let's be honest, who was brought up to the main roster last year or 2 years ago the Maximum Male Models. Now she's her first year really wrestling on the main roster, so she's getting her legs under her. She's getting a whole bunch of backlash because of her wrestling. But to me, I see a difference in how things are being handled as far as the fans when it comes to Bianca and getting her criticism for just being on the cover, which she deserves, and Maxine for putting on maybe a subpar match. People booed her out of arena. And I think there's a difference between the two situations. I think there is a contrast, and hey, one's being booed for their performance of their craft, and the other one's just being booed or being, having racist comments and things thrown at her just because of who she is at all. Like that, it's not because she's not good at her job. It's not, that's what I am finding as the differences. And now, granted, maybe Maxine has received, if it's any personal threats or any like death threats, Maxine should not be receiving that either. The woman over here dealing so much already, guys. You got to cut that shit out. And I see this is for any wrestler. You guys just take it too far. But I will say this: if you're getting booed at a live event, I don't think that's crazy. I don't think it's like something that people have to run to your rescue for. I don't. I think it's something that you learn through. I think a lot of people have been booed. It's just like a comic coming out and bombing, and down the line he figures out his material and becomes one of the best comics in the world. Almost every single comic has a story of them being bombed, booed or bombing, because when you were perfecting your craft, it happens. She goes out on a live event, gets booed. People are booing her when she didn't have a good match, and they didn't like what they saw. Like, they have the right to do that. They paid a ticket, they can boo. Now, if there's anything further, they're throwing food at her or some shit, that's crazy. If they're saying anything that's disparaging, misogynistic, or death threats, fuck those people. That's not warranted.
But I would like to say this. I would like to, in order for us to kind of not seem like that show, or I'm not trying to save you for anything. I just want to ask you this, and present this to you. What in this era of criticism, right? Social media, direct access to someone, somebody really protecting themselves and their job, and nigga, Charles Barkley was throwing niggas through glass pane windows back in the day, right? Like it was a little different accessibility of, like, you say something, I'll fuck you up. Right now, it was like, you say something, I gotta eat it because we too corporate. You know what I'm saying? At what criticism have you heard or have you seen that isn't really disparaging, right? And I think that is where I wanted to come to you with the macro conversation. Is there is always an element and tinge of real, legitimate, despicable, diabolical, racist stuff when it comes to Nia, Bianca, Alicia Fox, Sasha / Mercedes, right? Lash Legend caught some of that. You know what I'm saying? There seems to be a real distinct, and then there seems to just be an overarching thing with this women, period.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, OG came to my crib the other day, literally yesterday. I put on the LSU South Carolina game. His first comment on anything, I don't watch women ball, man. I don't fuck with that. Bro, you 45, but you love ball so much that you don't fuck with women ball, nigga. Like, what you mean? Like, I can name more women college basketball niggas than I can name men college ball, because women college ball is banging right now. Like,
with him saying that, that's my thing. Is like, if you don't fuck with a woman doing her job, that's different than him taking a personal attack at these women. Like, my thing is,
correct.
Says,
correct.
Hey, I don't fuck with Maxine wrestling. They're
correct.
fine. I don't fuck. That's fine.
That's correct.
Me, like,
that's
they
true.
don't like the wrestling.
That's true.
There's people that I genuinely don't like the wrestling, and that's fine. Like,
that's
I said
true.
the same thing about people, before. And I'm not gonna say it, but you guys get what I'm saying. Talking
For
about their craft. Hey, man,
sure.
I come here for entertainment, and I don't like you entertaining me.
For sure,
you have a right to have that opinion.
I get it.
No one's gonna like. I hate the whole thing. Like, oh, women's basketball, you gotta support them. No, we don't want to watch it. We don't want to watch it. At the end of the day, like, I mean, I'm not saying that it's on their job to make it more entertaining for the people and to get more eyes on the product, not us to feel bad and watch women's basketball. It's not. It's Maxine's job to get better at her job, so people want to see her more.
Well,
Now, I don't actually already like Maxine. I like her presentation. I like her thank you and the worm, and I like the entertainment she provides. Not really the wrestling. I think that she can grow through that, just like we've seen women like Eva Mendes and Trish Stratus. Like they had to grow and get better, and over time they become a really good wrestler.
But this goes back. This goes back to, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but this goes to a fundamental problem that we have. This is why we're reasonable wrestling, because we don't have the predetermined misogynistic way of thinking. Well, I ain't even going to give it a time of day. The point of what I brought up about the OG not watching is like, you're right. You don't have to watch women basketball. You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to support none of that. What I am saying is that
he's giving it a chance.
Give it a fucking chance.
Okay.
He even said my sister wanted to play ball, but like, why she ain't play? Because probably it's underfunded fucking programs for her to play ball, or whatever the case may be, whatever the situation. And it's because there isn't a natural growth or and so with your point of we don't have to come and save Maxine, I completely understand that. But it is
the whole roster, the whole freaking
hold on. Let me land, bro. Let me land. You got a rookie quarterback, my nigga. Yeah, you a fucking rookie quarterback. Go in there and play, motherfucker. No, you gotta tell that nigga, hey man, you threw that pick, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta play. What you say in the media, it is gonna be a surrounding case of noise around the people. It is very much indicative of how that locker room supports that person, so that person can grow through that. It ain't just the noise that's going to make them better. It is what is surrounded around them that's going to make them better. Because the mental I don't know if fortitude is too masculine, so I don't want to be. The mental buildup.
Why is fortitude too masculine? I mean, mental fortitude is a real thing.
Well, because I usually say to test it for fortitude. I'm sorry. It's just what I want.
She ain't got the grapefruits. She ain't got the grapefruits. She don't. Nigga, she don't. Like, what do you want her to do? Nah, I feel you. Nah, the fortitude to take this criticism and get booed and all that shit. Like,
yeah, but for you to have the mental callus, though, for you to build up the mental callus, right? We look at and I'm sorry to just bring in sports. We look at Zach Wilson. We look at Justin Fields.
Yeah.
The organizational support around those people make them who they are. Trevor Lawrence was in that draft class as well. He ain't doing that much better than them niggas, but the organizational support around him is
help you out.
Exactly.
He got to the playoffs though, like and he won a playoff game. That's different. He has done a lot better. To be really being honest, like so.
But what your point is, giving it a chance with Maxine is, if you are coming to be entertained, and if you're coming for the wrestling, right? Just say this to this, and to bring my point. If you're coming to see Chad Gable for his moment, his WrestleMania moment, what made Chad Gable entertaining and to get more TV time isn't just his ability to do fucking suplexes and everything like that. It's him being attached to Maxine, who's very much intricate in the character build of Chad Gable. So therefore, if you are a wrestler, excuse me, if you're coming there for the wrestling, right? Niggas is coming to watch a SmackDown tomorrow. It's only 24 minutes of actual wrestling. Stop watching wrestling with a stopwatch, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck timing the rest? Like, hey, listen, Rampage come on right after. They wrestle a lot. Okay, they start the show with niggas going ring rope wrestling. Nigga, don't you want wrestling? Watch AEW. We gonna get to them in a little bit. Yeah. What I'm saying is that what I am saying is that Maxine, if your point is giving her a chance, you're already giving her a chance to like, yo, she's entertaining. You already know that she ain't wrestling.
Yeah.
You already know she just got her first pair of boots.
I mean, I wouldn't be.
I'm not saying you. I am saying.
I know. I know that. So you're saying that I'm not being one of the people booing her, but my thing is
the ones who are booing her should have some type of fucking like, hey, I'm not entertained, but still move along now. Let's get to the. You ain't got to be like, boo, bitch, boo. Like that's disrespectful.
I wonder what city they were in, yo. But to me, my take on this is like, yo, the whole industry, locker women want to come to her defense and shit. Nah, let her take her fucking lumps, bro. You don't gotta tell us, oh, I hope that you guys were booed at your job to see how it feels. Listen, we didn't choose a job in entertainment. Well, some people don't, did it. But my thing is, this is what the job calls for.
No,
if you want to be in the limelight and have fame, there is a cost to that. I'm not trying to. No, don't stop me. Let me go. If you want to be in an entertainment business, period. This is if you're an entertainer in the sports, if you're an entertainer in film, if you're an entertainer in sports entertainment, bro, there is a level of criticism you're going to get. And I'm not saying, and we already made the caveat that it can't cross a line. But yo, John Cena's been booed. LeBron James has been booed. If you can't take boos,
no, bro, we not talking, bro. You can go to a restaurant and the bitch there is the nigga. The shit. I'm in. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Take a breath. Right. Slow down. The bitch nigga.
You can go to a restaurant and you can't tell the waiter. You can tell them they fucked up in a certain type of way. That's the point that the correlation is like, yo, we can't go here. Excuse me?
Sorry, it's different.
No. The point is that the point is that you say, no, Chidi, hold on, stop. Just follow me. You go to a restaurant to pay your money for service, correct? You go to an entertainment thing to be entertained. Both of those things you are paying your money for. Both of those things you have the ability to say, yo, this shit wasn't good. This shit wasn't served correctly. My food ain't hot enough. The silverware dirty. All this shit is a step. You can do that and you don't cross the line. You go because she an entertainment and because she famous that you can like, she got to get through it. No, man, it's just decency. That's all. Like, it's just.
So you're saying that they shouldn't boo her?
No, I'm not saying that. No, what you're saying is that the locker room shouldn't support her. What I am saying is that if she fuck around, have her.
But my thing is locker room going on Twitter and telling the fans
because that's where the fucking disrespect is at.
But
the disrespect is on Twitter.
It depends on what the disrespect was. I just made a caveat. Yeah, if it's personal stuff that they're going against, then yeah, cool. But if you're saying that she was bad at her wrestling and then you guys want to coddle her,
bro, I'm not
out of here with that.
Bro, stop. If Zach Wilson have a bad game, I'm not finna tell the players not to tell me he have a bad game, but I am gonna come to the meeting and be like, yo, back the fuck up. You ain't in practice, nigga. This nigga doing his job. We just had a bad game. I'm gonna tell you.
Nobody came to Zach's defense. None of his players said, hey, to the fans. Hey,
you know why? Because he ain't Maxine Dupree, nigga. He really trash. Maxine Dupree.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna call her trash, but she is not. She's green as grass, like you used to say. Like you said, he's green as grass, and it's facts.
Grass, exactly.
So at the end of the day, she's the same exact Wilson.
She's not a first round pick.
Oh God, so it's different because she's not a first round pick.
No, what I'm saying,
they put her on TV.
My point. Hold on,
we did push her to the main roster. Hold on. So you give her that spotlight.
No, hold on, stop. She's an entertainment act who's just getting in the ring. She's not Mandy Rose. When Mandy Rose was NXT champion, you took the same and I'm gonna say you's consistent. She ain't good enough. She ain't cutting it. She ain't good. I'll give you that because they put that bitch at the top of the card. Meaning she's selling tickets, she the champion. Maxine Dupree, nigga, was an opening act. Why you booing the opening act? Bitch, who told you to get there early? Fuck, nigga. Who told you to get there early?
100%, bro. If you want to boo Maxine, go and boo her. If she comes out on Monday and she puts on a bad match and you don't like it, boo her. I don't care. I don't care about the boo. Dominic gets booed like crazy. He got booed his whole career, and it turned into a gimmick. This is where you can see a change in Maxine's demeanor. This is where you can see an evolution of her character. One thing that you can do in wrestling is that you can evolve the character based on the fans' reactions. The fans are reacting. That's what I'm trying to say. The fans are reacting. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that the fans are reacting to Maxine, even if They're booing her. Don't come to the fans on Twitter and say, "Oh, guys, you shouldn't boo Maxine. Poor Maxine. I wish you guys were booed at your job because you know how it feels." Dude, this is professional wrestling. We're not saying that Maxine's not a good person. We're not saying that she's not a beautiful young lady. We're not saying any of that shit. What the boos was that, hey, man, this ain't it. Me personally, when she does the thank you and the worm and everything like that, I take it as a comedic act. I take it that she's having fun, and I don't have a problem with it. But if you're going to a certain type of town, having a certain live event, and they're there to see some wrestling, and the match she put on was not good, and they're booing her as she leaves the ring, bro, this is an opportunity of evolution of her character. It's not a bad thing. You don't need the entire women's locker room coming around to defend her, to say, "Oh man, you guys on Twitter, like, hey, you guys shouldn't boo Maxine." Fuck that. If you get paid your hard-earned money to come to the show, you can boo whoever the fuck you want. That's what my opinion is. You can boo whoever the fuck you want. It's on them to figure out how to get her over. Whether that's turning her heel, whether that's figuring out her getting her better at wrestling. There's a million different things you can do now with Maxine because the fans actually have given her a reaction. Now, if she came out there and it was just crickets, then you got a problem. But now you have an opportunity to evolve her character, and I stand by that. I stand by that. I think that it's an opportunity for Maxine to evolve her character, and boos aren't bad. Boos aren't bad. So yeah, if you don't like,
no, I'm not saying boos aren't bad, but what I am saying is that you're saying. I was trying to stop you by saying the precedent is low for having morale and support. So if that's
where's the support for Bianca? Was there any support for Bianca?
That's why I was trying to stop you. That's why I was trying to stop you.
I'm asking. I'm not saying it wasn't.
No. But what I was saying was that if the bar is set that low, when things like this happen with Bianca, it's nipped in the bud because it was very much done the same with dang, who was it? Man. I forget. I do apologize right now. It is very much reminiscent to the fact of, huh?
What was it, Mercedes? Maybe, I don't know.
I think it might have been, but I can't remember the details of it. But I do remember the fact of it's very normal for disrespect to happen, and everybody be like, "Well, you are an entertainer," you know what I'm saying? Deal with it. I want to
be clear. That is not what I'm saying. Disrespect is different than booing. I want to be clear. That's not what I'm saying. If you are disrespecting them personally, I have a problem with it. If you're throwing food at them, if you're cursing them out, if you're talking to them, and throwing death threats, that's not proper etiquette as a fan of a product. But booing, fuck that, man. Boo as you want.
I mean, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, who cares? Who cares? Who cares why they support them, right? Like, yeah, I'm not telling them not to boo. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying, like, who cares why they have the support of their teammates? Like, I think.
Okay, I got you. I feel you.
That was my biggest thing.
Then yeah, good shit. You guys can go ahead and coddle Maxine. I don't think it helps. I think
it's not coddling Maxine, bro. It's I think that's what I'm saying. The negative connotation.
My thing is like, come on, man. She got booed. Like, why is like multiple people coming out?
You don't okay, but bro, you just said this. I don't want to. You have an opinion on something that you said that you didn't necessarily even see.
No, I'm trying to ask, bro. Like, if it was just booze, and I don't think people need.
But if I'm telling you, if I've been making a statement, and your argument is it's just booze, if I'm saying that if she got booed and it crossed the line, it hurt her feelings, she feel bad about herself. You don't know what her teammates came to support her, and you like, no, fuck that, be tougher. And I'm like, nigga, what?
I'm not be tougher. It's that like, all right. I'm gonna sound mean because I like Maxine, bro. I do. I fuck with Maxine. I've always fucked with Maxine. But god damn, yo, like, to me, I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, I'm hearing you, and what I'm saying is like, no, yes, go through the lumps and bumps and bruises. I'm not saying like what I am saying is, even if she got booed, and she says, "I'm new to the booing." Hello, I'm new. I just started this thing. Whenever I go on Raw and shit, they cheer me. I've never got booed on national. Like I
You
don't know
still
how.
support her, but like
What
this is
again?
what
What
this
I'm trying to
is.
tell again. What I'm
Go
trying to
ahead.
tell you
Go.
is
My bad. We're
you're
going
not
around circles
on
right now. We're
Twitter
going around circles.
and you don't know what the. It's more. Listen, yes, live events. Boo. Niggas is not coming out stopping the show like, hey, don't boo Max Machine. Niggas is on Twitter like, hey, motherfucker, you are tweeting disrespectful shit, bitch. Like,
All
what's
right,
wrong with
that's
you?
wild. That's wild.
Like, that's
That's
what I'm
wild.
saying. Like,
All
that's
right,
what a
then that's
defense
wild.
is.
All right, we're on the same page. We can move on. Shit. We're going around in circles. But
Oh,
speaking of, you mentioned something about wrestling and AEW having a lot of wrestling on their show. I wanted to speak to that a little bit because, ironically, wait, you got it? Am I missing something?
no, nigga, I turned my light brighter, and if
Oh, okay.
it can.
Ironically, AEW is actually telling more stories. Actually,
Yeah.
AEW has having more promos and backstage segments. I watched the full show of Dynamite this week, first time this year, because I didn't turn it on and see Jeff Hardy and Dustin Rhodes in a match and turn it right back off. I turned it on, and what did I see? Samoa Joe and Swerve off the bat. I'm like, oh, I'm locked in, bro. I'm ready. I'm locked in. You got me. You got my eyes now. I'm sitting here for the promo for Swerve, and Swerve is saying, yo, maybe I'm dealing with some of the karma for the passings I did and the way I went about my actions. And there was a double turn with him and Hangman Page in that match, which I love. Hangman was beating up referees and shit. Swerve had a chance to use a weapon and he didn't. He decided not to. He wanted to win it his way and he wanted to pin Hangman to do it, but his ego, got best of him and. Obviously lost sight of things. And Samoa Joe choked out Hangman Page. So he came out to atone for his sins in a sense when I turned on the show. And I loved every moment of it. I think that Swerve's energy and what he's bringing to the show and as an act, a main event act, is very much not forced and so natural right now that I'm so happy for him because this is where he should be. And I don't think he would have been given this spot right now in WWE. I think he's perfectly fit for AEW and what they're doing right now. And this is a perfect marriage, him being a main event of this show and him and Samoa Joe coming out and having their promo. After that, Warlow comes out and, or the Undisputed Kingdom comes out.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry to interrupt.
go ahead.
Bryce Huff left the Jets.
I know that. I've been know that.
Oh,
I'm mad. Don't be wrong, but Bryce Huff I knew he was gonna leave. I knew it. Like, he wasn't franchise tagged. So
he went to the Eagles. Ew.
the franchise. Wait, time out. Did free agency already start today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he went to the Eagles, which is great for. I'm going to root for my guy. I'm a big Bryce Huff fan.
That's why I told you a big Bryce
The
Huff
punch
fan.
doesn't hurt as much as maybe you thought it would, but I've gone through my mourning at the end of the last season because I had a feeling this was going to happen. But I am mad that they are not getting anything back for this guy, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why.
An undrafted free agent that gets 10 sacks and you just let him walk. It's crazy to me. I know you got people that are coming behind him that are already down the pipeline that are very, well touted and everything. But I think that's crazy. That's a misstep for the GM in my mind. But moving on back to wrestling. Yeah, man. AEW, for all the AEW fans who are like, oh my God, SmackDown only had like 23 minutes of actual wrestling on a wrestling show. Listen, it's a performance, it's a television show. And your favorite show is now doing the same thing. And guess for me, somebody who loves stories, somebody who loves promos, I'm tuning back in now. So it's working for me. Like, and how they started off the show with that angle, Small Joe and Swerve in the ring, Undisputed Kingdom, it immediately sets up my mind like, oh, I know what's going on. It's like a restart to their roster and what's going on moving forward with their angles. And the angle is that Wardlow wants that championship to bring it back to the Undisputed Kingdom. Adam Cole, obviously being in the wheelchair, he's saying these guys are all elite and these guys have swept everybody on all their matches, on Revolution. Wardlow won the All-Star Battle Royal, or All-Star, wasn't a Battle Royal, but All-Star match, whatever the fuck they called it. And Roderick Strong won the international championship from Orange Cassidy, talked all his shit. So now we're setting up Wardlow and Samoa Joe for this week, which is Big Business in Boston. What is your take on this? Because me and you talked about the ranking system being bullshit and how they should shoot Wardlow into this after that promo he did a couple weeks, and they are doing what I said they should do, which I appreciate because I'm going to be tuning in. So I'm not mad at it, but at the same time, it's bullshit. The ranking system they don't mean a goddamn thing.
But why would you? But my thing is, why are we talking about things we don't like when you just talking about things you do like in the ranking system?
I'm not talking about it at all, bro. I'm talking about what me being right is that the ranking system is bullshit. At the same time, I love where they're going with things.
But
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say I'm just doubling back on like, hey man, what I said was right.
I don't know how you say that the ranking system didn't matter when.
Real quick, Juan, I did not hear any rumors about Brock showing up. It's my first time hearing about that. If there is something going on, then I don't even want to know. I'm just gonna watch Raw and find out.
I don't want no spoilers.
No spoilers. But yeah, I'll be crazy if it does happen though. But go back to what you were saying. I know you don't like me saying bad things. I'm gonna say bad things.
No, it's not that I don't like you saying bad things. I think the repetitive nature of you saying the rankings don't mean the goddamn thing. When last week we had the same conversation, I said, well, you said Wardlow's not even on the ranking. I'm like, well, if he beats niggas in this match, he can. He was like, so the rank. I'm like, that's what the rankings were anyway. Like the rankings were just if you got hot, who is hot right now. If you won a couple matches, it's booking, it's presentation, it's like okay.
You don't know what the rankings is. No one does. No one knows what.
Okay, man.
All right, man.
That's coming from the person that just argued me 45 minutes about Maxime Dupree and booze and why the locker room. Man. You don't tell me I don't know what the rankings are. That's fine. You just tell me you're not online, so you don't know what the vitriol was, but you argued me down like she can't get the fake. But now I don't know. I don't know
listen, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Listen, man. As you want to talk about Maxine and everything, but I'm talking about this. I know the ranking system is bullshit, but at the same time, I'm very happy with what they're doing with Wardlow. I joke around with that stuff because I think it's funny that it exists because it doesn't mean anything. But I'm still happy with where they're going. I said that if Wardlow gets hot, he shouldn't have to go through every single person on the damn rankings that was above him to get to this match, and they're actually putting it on.
But that was the point of the rankings, though.
Oh, let's get over the ranking things. To me, I'm going to be honest. Okay, I brought it up as a side comment, and you stuck on that one thing. I said a lot of other things too, but my point of rankings is that I'm gonna keep on bringing up that is bullshit,
and I'm gonna keep saying that's the point of the rankings is that if you like a nigga and I wrote the nigga to win and I wrote the nigga for him to be hot, I'm gonna write the nigga in the ranking spot because it's a fucking booking tool. Like that's all the fuck it is. And if you can't understand that, then I don't know why you fucking talk about it. If you can't,
I do understand. That's the thing, though. Like I do understand. That means that it's not really real. When you say, "Hey, if you got like a guy, I'm gonna make him number one contender," then it's the same thing as any other wrestling promotion. It's not really. There's no. It meets no purpose. It is not a difference than any other wrestling promotion. You can act like it is not. Wardlow is now number one contender. Why? Because he won one match and. It's not based off of any who's undefeated, who's not, who has the best record. It's not based off of any of that. So why are we even having this thing? So in my mind, I'm gonna ignore it. But yeah, I'm gonna get under your skin every single week.
You didn't ignore it. You brought it up, and now we're here 5 minutes talking about it.
I'm gonna ignore as far as my entertainment of the show. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, why is this happening? No, but I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna piss you off every week because I'm gonna point out every little step of the way where this shit don't make no fucking sense until they take it away. But I mean,
when you said why Takeshita was in the top 5, he lost. He wasn't in the top 5. That's how the rankings work. Like I don't know why the fuck that's so hard for you. Like
yeah, listen. I'm excited for Big Business. Listen, I will be watching in Boston, and there's a lot of implications of what was going to happen on the show. I think this is like one of their mini pay-per-views they do every single month, where they do the mini big event. And Wardlow winning, facing Samoa Joe, I think is a big main event. Potentially having the the debut of Mercedes Moné could be epic. And speaking of Mercedes Moné, I saw an interview of hers. Man, she's fire, man. She always has been, but I think she's in a great space right now. And I can't wait to see what she does next. One thing I will say is I want to see her and Willow link up again. I want to see that be her first feud in AEW. I think that would be interesting because Willow right now is facing Riho, I think, a big business. And if she interferes, that I think will be a great debut for her because she's the one who injured her, and almost ended her career. Apparently, the doctors told her it could be the end of her career. So, shout out to Mercedes if she ends up in WWE. I mean, in AEW, and finishes clears up some unfinished business she had from NJPW strong with Willow. I think will be a great way to get her over, as well as a great introductory feud for Mercedes if that happens.
No, I think realistically, like the entrance of Mercedes Moné into that women's division, injects her in the top 5 of the rankings. You dig? Nah, man. I think her.
Talking about.
I think her. I mean, you introduced you cracked the door. I kicked that bit open. No, I think the presentation of Mercedes Moné will be very much indicative on how the run goes. Right, we've seen big presentations, and we've seen how they like. If Pac was ever to stay healthy, he would have been and could have been a cornerstone piece of AEW with the growth of MJF and the rise of Hangman Page and Swerve Shane Strickland and matches with Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli and him and Eddie Kingston in the Continental Classic will matter a lot more because he's actually from a different continent. Like shit like that really makes me wonder. Like Tony had an idea, and that goes back to what I say, man, injuries really do fuck you up. And then sometimes like, man, I ain't pivoting, nigga. Like we here, like we just gonna throw.
Tony, it's always about his execution. I think he has good ideas sometimes. It's his execution he fucks up on.
So that goes back to my point. The execution of Mercedes Moné introduction will be very much indicative of how I believe her run will go. Because Okada has been very much. I like it.
I like it too, man. I gotta say, listen, that's how you do a debut from NJPW. I mean, I'm glad that wasn't just Okada just running down and oh my God, it's Okada. Like he came out with his music. The coin drop happened. Came out, and it was a big pop. And then the turn happened. And after, we're running through a lot of things that happened on the show right now. But what really right now, AEW as a whole, it feels like a new era. Like to lose Cody Rhodes, Jade Cargill, CM Punk. I know you lost Brian Pillman Jr. to a lesser extent, and he's all doing their thing in WWE. And you have people who you brought in, Adam Cole, Brian Danielson, Claudio, people that you brought in that are kind of like, all right, now you guys are AEW guys. It feels like you guys are kind of like not old news, but we're used to you. Now, where's the excitement coming from? And to bring in now in this era, Okada, Will Ospreay, Mercedes Moné, to fit a budding Tony Storm, a budding Swerve Strickland, a budding Samoa Joe's now your champion after coming from WWE. I think it feels fresh again. And I'm like, oh man, you guys made a great make some great signings. Although I wanted some of these guys to go back to WWE, y'all were able to pull that free agent into your company and retool, like repackage, from losing people. And like just like the NFL team would do, like when rebuilding happens, when you start bringing in those, hot talents, it can really bolster, round out your roster. And I think that's where they're at. And when you talk about Okada's entrance and him now, joining the Elite after, the Young Bucks came out, the EVPs, and said, hey, man, Kenny Omega, you haven't been around. We're going to fire you from the Elite. And, and then them bringing in Okada, I think Kenny Omega and Okada is one of the best feuds in wrestling history. So his biggest rival is now taking his spot in the Elite. I think, it's a great, turn of events and him taking out Eddie Kingston, who's one of the most beloved guys in AEW, to get that over as that he's not a good guy, and Okada not coming in as a babyface. I think I'm really interested to see how they use Okada. So I'm locked in with AEW. You got Mercedes coming, you got Wardlow and Samoa Joe. I love Tony, what Tony Storm is doing, so we'll see where she goes with her stuff going forward. Swerve, as I mentioned, I'm really proud of what the work that he is doing over there. So, and then you mentioned Pac. Pac returned, and he got physical with Okada on Saturday. So they're in a really great space because now Pac can now see where he fits in. And for somebody like me, it's a lot of guys that I'm interested in seeing how they evolve. And Will Ospreay, man, man, off the rip, he's had 2 great matches. That main event on Dynamite last week between him and Kyle Fletcher was like, they knew each other so well, and Kyle Fletcher more than anything knew him, so he kept on countering his finishers and his moves and just getting one up on him. And I thought it was great storytelling within the match. And then by the end, he was so exhausted. He's like, all right, just hit me with the hidden blade. And he hit him with that, and he got the victory. This guy cannot have a bad match, man. And it feels like Will Ospreay is their biggest star already. It feels like he's the biggest star on the roster. So if I was AEW, I'm making him my Cody Rhodes, my John Cena, my Roman Reigns, whatever you want to say, and build the next era of AEW around Will Ospreay. He's young enough. He's great. He's good enough on the mic. He has the aura around him. He has the wrestling skills. Probably best wrestler in the world at the moment, if not one of them. That's the man. That's the guy, so to speak. So I don't know. I said a lot right there, but you go ahead.
No, I think for the most part, me and you have similar yet different taste in what it is we want presented to us with wrestling. I think for the most part, I really want to just talk about the overarching point that you made about the change that AEW is making as far as making. Damn, I said making twice. I really want to talk about the change that AEW is making by debuting different logo, by utilizing their talent more diversely. I do. We do
storylines, promos. They're not just doing a bunch of wrestling anymore. Like, it was distinctly different than to me than the previous shows.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we talk about you have to grow, and I said that they were just an independent show that got a TV deal. He was like, no, for them to grow, they have to be able to be a television show. And I'm like, yeah, well, I know that, we know, like it just like you said, it's the execution. I think it's also the buy-in, right? The buy-in from we talk about the morale. They want to do whatever Tony asks. You feel me? Like, that's a sign of a really good boss. I think if Tony said, "Hey man, hey, you came from where you came from. It was rigid. Just you got some ideas, you want to flow it, go, man. And then he got some money. He got some talking to. He went to the bigwig meetings. He started to see a little bit of the competition being more expansive and being more globalized and being more. And he was like, damn, what I'm doing is really, it has to sharpen up. And I do believe having Bryan Danielson there is more cognizant and conducive to the locker room than CM Punk is, because as they are both vocal people, right? I think Bryan is also he's always been endearing, right? So if you got the two of Bryan Danielson and Tony, where Danielson can cuss a motherfucker out, he can beat their ass, he can hug you, he can give you tough love, and Tony can be like, yeah, man, with Bryan, we really need you to do that. When you come to run to the good cop, the good cop is like, no, man, I reinforce you with Bryan. Now you be like, okay, well, if Tony said it, I respect Bryan for saying it, even though he took. Now you got a real
great buffer.
Exactly. So and Tony can come to Bryan and be like, yo, I got this in my head. How can we execute this? How can we do this? Brian is like, hey man, hey, you don't want me to go to Japan to do G1 because you pay me a lot of money? This is how they do the G1. This is how they do a G1. You like, hey, you want to pay money for another title? You want to make Eddie King? I love
it translating to American style presentation, so we buy in, like you said, by the buy-in.
Bro, Eddie and Brian respect each other.
Yeah,
this is what I'm trying to say. Kingston, when he cut that promo on Punk, he mentioned Danielson. Danielson was probably one of the niggas that called him a fat fuck and told him to get his shit together. And you don't respect the business, and you better get your shit together. And again, for a nigga who during the pandemic was selling wrestling boots to pay his mortgage, what the fuck you mean you don't respect me, dog? Yeah. Danielson had to change that. And with that, he helped, I'm pretty sure, with Tony and Eddie to be like, we're going to give you something, back to what we were talking about Nia, something you deserve. You deserve to be seen in a light of this. And if you want to keep who you are, the core of what you are, we know how to make that because I'm Brian Danielson. I know the business. I live that. I did it at the top of the
thing. I'll be honest with you. I was very sour with AEW at the end of the last year. The Eddie Kingston was the first time I'm like, it gave me a little thought, like, okay, maybe they know what they're doing, maybe. And I was still skeptical. I'm sorry, but Tony Storm and Swerve, I attribute that to them. I attribute like their success to, and now they're capitalizing on it. Yeah, cool. But like I attribute a lot of it to them building that. Granted, they gave him the spots and everything like that, gave him the victories, cool. But I didn't say like, oh, AEW's back until I started seeing the booking they did of the G1 Classic or the Continental Classic, and then him winning it and the way it went from there.
Even before that, the Wrestle Dream, when they put Swerve against Danielson, they both from Washington area, both from the Seattle, Washington area, and they had that match.
Wrestle Dream was not Swerve and Danielson. It was Swerve and Hangman, and it was Danielson and Zach Taylor.
I'm sorry, not Wrestle Dream. What was the match that Danielson and Swerve had?
They had it on Collision, I think. Maybe I don't remember exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. But that's where I felt like because Danielson has always been so giving. Yeah. That's when I was like the change of that was yeah, you're right. That happened on
I don't know how I remember this shit, dog. But yeah, I remember Zack Sabre Jr. and Brian Danielson was on that show.
Yeah, you're right. It was for the first time ever that they had that match though, but you're absolutely correct. That was on, but that it was for a shot at the TNT title. Okay. Dynamite. Yep, you're right. So I think we talk about tournaments, they love their tournaments. It was in a situation like that where I'm like, okay, they're booking Swerve, they putting them, they're making him something. Danielson, I hear you when you say Tony and Swerve, and that attributed to what that clicked for me, Swerve and Danielson, because that build to that match where Swerve wanted that match. He wanted to win that match. He was building like that's when he was making the claim that I'm about to do something this year. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaving everything else in the dust.
Kind of like was like, all right, you got Swerve cooking, and Swerve, he was killing his performances. And to me, the crowd, Swerve, when I drop and all that stuff going on, I think they followed a trend that was already happening. It's not like Tony Khan created this in my mind, So like I wasn't attributing Swerve's success solely, even though he's part of it, to Tony Khan. And Tony Storm was a complete character change that she dove into a character and is now freaking nailing every time she's out there. I attribute a lot to Tony Storm, It's not solely Tony Khan saying, hey, we're going to do this with you. No, I think she created a lot of that. So that's why I didn't say like, oh, AEW feels like they're making good decisions again for a while. Continental Classic for me was like, oh, okay. They told me a story that I was skeptical about, that by the end it had to pay off, and I got to hold my hands up and be like, all right, Eddie Kingston deserved that. They didn't do my guy dirty. Like, I like it, So that was something that I like. That's a decision, a booking decision that they did and built over time, and it paid off. And I had to give it to Tony Khan with that. That's when I first clicked in, and from that point forward, still skeptical. I can't just be like, oh, Tony Storm or Swerve are doing good. Now I'm seeing, okay, the double turn with Hangman and Swerve, which I love a double turn. I'm a Bret Hart fan, so of course I love that. I'm seeing the acquisition of talent. I'm seeing the emphasis on storytelling and promos now. O'Shea Jackson came in. He didn't. He just talked real. He's like, listen, if I'm telling you guys I don't know who somebody is in AEW, and you're saying that I should go watch something else, and they're like, oh, I'm stupid for not knowing. I'm not a real wrestling fan. Then how do I connect these guys? And I think they're doing better with that since he said that. As far as Lace Ryan, I'm not saying that's he's a reason, but like he speaks to something that I've been saying a long time. Like, this is a television show too. Like, yeah, I know you guys love wrestling, but we got to be able to connect with some of these guys. When Okada comes back, some people don't know who he is. When Will Ospreay shows up, some people don't know who he is. But when we see them wrestle, we're like, oh god damn, this guy's incredible. But also the character around that guy brings the full package together. When we see Swerve and we says whose house, Swerve's house, we know what this guy's mission is. We kind of get the vibe of who he is, and we're familiar. When we see Tony Storm, we get it immediately. We want that for more of the people on our AEW roster. I think they're going to be. I think this could be the start of something great moving forward. And when MJF comes back, added to the fray, is going to be interesting. So I think on the WWE side, it's like a CM Punk return down the line is going to make the year go further. And AEW side, it's the MJF return that's going to make things extend further somewhere down in the summertime. So I'm waiting for those two returns on either side to see things move forward. But it's already hot right now for both companies. So I got to tip my cap to AEW this week.
Anything else? Did we miss anything?
I'll be missing something, man. I'm always missing something. But I'm gonna hold off on. No, right now, I'm just.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Like, I think
Book and Black did the whole Willow Mercedes thing. That's my Book and Black. I'm gonna say that. Business and Logic. I mean, honestly, there's nothing I heard this week that I would say is a big news.
Big news is Vince cashed out another $400 million, and Emmanuel's like, yeah. I'm sorry, Mark Shapiro's like, yeah, we don't talk to Vince if Vince don't talk to us. You know what I'm saying? Like that thing. That's the biggest.
You don't fuck with that nigga. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he is not coming to the office. We do not know that guy.
Mark Shapiro was like, bro, listen, I think, matter of fact, last number I had, I don't even think he got this new one. You know what I'm saying? That's how Mark Shapiro moving right now.
Oh man, I got a missed call. I got to call back. But yeah, we're about to be out of here, man. I think that's it.
Oh, you got the missed call? Damn.
Yeah, I got missed call, man. I'm gonna call back, make a call. Listen, I think we're good. Anything else you got to touch on?
Nah, man. Send that request when we get ready to draft, you slow ass man.
Listen, I got priorities, man. I gotta make shit happen, man. Gotta make shit shake. But we're about to go ahead and end the show, guys. Thank y'all for listening. Tune in next week. We'll be back live. I think we should just move it to Mondays at this point. Fuck that. But in my mind, but we'll see. It's either gonna be Sunday, Monday. We'll be live at the beginning of next week at some point. But love you guys. All's love. Everything is wrestling. We'll see y'all, and definitely like, subscribe, do all that good shit. Follow us on all the medias of socialness. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.